everyone, it's Erin, and I recently played through Castlevania Aria of Sorrow on the Game Boy Advance Switch collection, and I really enjoyed it. Like, I had no idea how much I would like this game. You play as Soma Cruz in the year 2035, that'll be here before we know it, and Dracula has been kept away since 1999. I really liked the mechanic of equipping souls from enemies that gave you different kinds of abilities. It was so much fun running into new enemies and bosses in every playthrough that I decided I just had to make this video. So let's check out 10 awesome enemies in Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. And if you end up liking this video, I highly suggest checking out my 10 awesome Symphony of the Night enemies video, which I'll link in the description. Number 1. COCKATRICE. What's not to love about this quirky enemy? You find him in the floating garden area, cock-a-doodle-doo, bitch! And the first time I ran into one of these, he kicked my butt a little too hard. They may not move fast, but they shoot lasers out of their eyes and they get some distance. To be more specific, it's a petrifying beam because if it gets ya, boom, you're turned into stone! The first time I saw this guy, I was both terrified and amused because, I mean, it's literally a giant laser shooting rooster. I was too busy looking at the name to stop being stone. Not exactly what I was expecting to run into, but that's what's great about the Castlevania franchise. You never know what crazy, out-of-control thing you're gonna run into next. And while we're on the topic of chickens, let's talk about this truly terrifying creature called a Stolas. Oh, what are you? He has very long, bony legs and walks on his tippy toes, or should I say talons, and sometimes he decides to turn his head all the way around. But the thing that makes him the most unsettling is this little crown on top of his head. There's just something extra demonic about it, and it gives me the heebie-jeebies. Some other things worth mentioning about this creature is that if you get close enough to him, he'll kick you right in the face. Punt. And he also summons creatures as he keeps walking in your direction. So if you look up Stolas in mythology, he is the great prince of hell, so I guess that explains the crown. I don't like it, it freaks me out, but I had to include him. Number 3, Dead Warrior. My god, who are you? I remember these guys from Symphony of the Night, but they look a bit different in this game. They have green armor, a long weapon, and are riding on a decomposing horse that's literally been chopped in half. Or maybe the other half simply fell off due to all the decomposing flesh around here. I don't know. Apparently, this dead warrior is not a zombie, but a ghost of a dead samurai warrior. The way they gallop at you on their horse is pretty gnarly, and it's just wonderfully unsettling. Number 4, Student Witch. The Student Witch is a red-headed little witch with a purple dress who will either hit you with her broomstick or send a cat on you that resembles Luna from Sailor Moon a bit. What also makes this enemy pretty awesome is that if you acquire her soul, you can then summon cats to attack. It's pretty fun sending cats on enemies. I wish I could do that in real life. Number 5, Waiter Skeleton. So, it's no secret that I really love the skeleton enemies in the Castlevania series, but this guy takes the cake when it comes to uniqueness. Oh my god, waiter skeletons! I love them so much! Oh my god. He's a waiter skeleton that is always seen carrying a tray of piping hot curry. He will either throw his plate of curry at you or his head if he's angry enough at you. And if you manage to get his soul, you too can throw curry at enemies. He's found in the dance hall section of the game, and I really wish I could find a little figurine of this guy. Number 6, Ballroom Dancer Ghosts. These enemies attack by literally dancing right into you. They remind me of the ghosts from the Haunted Mansion at Disneyland, and pretty much act like the ghosts in Adventures in the Magic Kingdom on NES. I just like how they look when they're gliding over the stained glass windows, despite the fact that they're trying to kill you. Number 7, Headhunter. The Headhunter was a really cool boss, and I was intrigued the moment we entered her room. As you walk in, you see an ornate-looking room with many severed heads displayed on shelves. How did she get them all? The hunter initially is a woman in a Victorian gown, which to me is a red flag that she'll be pretty creepy to deal with. After you decapitate her for the first time, she then grabs another head off the shelf and turns into another style of enemy. I thought this was a fun mechanic for a boss fight, and it's really memorable. Number 8. Kicker Skeleton. This little guy totally caught me off guard, so I had to include him on my list. Let's talk about the Kicker Skeleton. Oh my god, he has a cape! Look at him! He's your regular Castlevania style skeleton, except for the fact that he sports a flashy red cape, or maybe it's a scarf. Either way, it comes in handy for him since his specialty is flying around and kicking you in the face. If you get his soul, you can perform a downward kick in mid-air that comes in pretty handy, except I kept forgetting that I had this ability. Number 9, Legion. I first saw Legion in Symphony of the Night, so I was very surprised to run into him in this game. This time, he's still made up of a bunch of wiggly little bodies. Ew, they look all gray and wormy. But this time, he's a little balled up fetus thing. Once you take away all of the bodies and get to his core, you realize it's a caged demon fetus with a bunch of tentacles. Gross. If you get Legion's soul, called the Legion Laser, it's super awesome because it allows Soma to sprout robotic tentacles that shoot lasers. What more could you want? I use this attack fairly often for the rest of the game. And lastly, we have this sketchy little dude named Graham. At first, he comes across as a typical, well-dressed human sporting a pretty obnoxious smirk, but eventually, spoiler alert, he transforms into an awesomely demonic being that frankly looks pretty metal. At first, I had no idea what the hell I was looking at. You see two giant, silver-haired women joined together by their eye sockets with something, and their insides are totally exposed. Yeah, I thought that was a messed up penis thing dangling down there too at first, or a tongue, but it's actually supposed to be their joint intestinal tract blowing in the wind or whatever. And if you look real close, you can see Graham in the middle, and it looks like he's controlling this grotesque beast. There is a lot going on here, and it's probably one of the gnarliest bosses I've ever seen. So I had to save the best for last. So there you have it, my favorite 10 enemies from Castlevania Aria of Sorrow. I had no idea just how much fun this game would be, and I'm actually already getting eager to play through it again. Is there anyone you think I should have included but didn't? Let me know in the comments, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time, bye!